What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Halo's Kitchen. It's Chef A here, and for today's video, we're going to be making some peach cobbler beignets. Yes. And this idea just kind of came to me a couple days ago because I've never had peach cobbler and I've never had beignets a day in my life. Please don't bake me. I know. So yeah, I just thought maybe I should just use the peach cobbler as like a filling for the beignets. And for this video, it's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to insert subtitles at the bottom of the video, and I'm going to be introducing my guidance and like discussion side of my channel as well. So for this video specifically, I was thinking about touching on the topic of toxicity. Forgive me if I pronounced that wrong, but yes. It's just like crazy to me how much of a big thing it's become, like how much of a trend it's became for this generation. Like it's literally a trend to be toxic. And it's even went as far as to like influencing our music and stuff, like artists like Tory Lanez. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard the Playboy, I think that's what it's called, the Playboy mixtape or whatever, his most recent album. That's the most toxic thing I've ever heard in my life. And I just noticed like how much it's spread around the TikTok app and Instagram, just all those, and just like how much people glorify it. And it's even like making people think like this is the way to go. I want toxic. I don't want anything healthy. I want to be in something toxic because that's more interesting. That's like what's popular nowadays. And then what blows me is the fact that people get mad in the end when they get the results that they do. They want to be heard. It's like people do anything for social media attention. I feel like it's gotten to the point to where people purposely they surround themselves with certain people. They put themselves in certain situations, relationships, just so they can follow along with the trend of, being hurt and just, from all these toxic relationships that they choose to be in. And while that might be the case for like some people, I don't think that's the case for all people. I do think like, some people don't intentionally put themselves in those situations. They just kind of happen. Because things like manipulation is real. I know that's like a powerful thing, I'm guilty of, experiencing that. And it can just like really cloud our judgment, not our judgment, but it can really like mess with our head and stuff and just interfere with the way we think, because it's literally, essentially like the other person is kind of in a way controlling your mind. And I just hope that everybody that's watching right now, like that you're very careful when it comes to things like that and just keeping your eyes open to those manipulators out there. There's the professional ones, and then there's also the ones that don't even realize that they're manipulating people. I do think that's possible, to where you can be manipulating someone without even realizing it. Guilt tripping falls into manipulation as well, getting into somebody's mind. Like, I hate those situations to where, you bring up something to someone like that you have an issue with about like what they did, and then they want to bring up something that you did in the past when it's not even about you. Yeah, like, no. Watch out for those. And me personally, like, I've experienced it in like many different ways. It's gotten like so bad to the point to where I had to go buy this book from Barnes & Noble. It's called Surrounded by Psychopaths. And it's pretty much just explaining like how to protect yourself from being manipulated and exploited in business and life in general. And yeah, I just feel like that's really important to be aware of, be alert about. Educate yourself, please. But yeah, anyways, back to this discussion of toxicity. I think I'm saying that right. So why is it that this generation glorifies it so much? Like, let's really dig deep into that. Of course, the most obvious answer would be like that people don't have self-love for themselves, enough self-respect to not be in those situations. That's like the obvious thing. Like, everybody knows that, how much a low self-love and like self-esteem for yourself can really affect how your relationships turn out. Some people even see that. They see that you don't really love yourself as much, that you're kind of like a pushover, and they take advantage of that. Like, I know I'm not trying to attack any men here, but I know a lot of men that will literally do that. Or let's just call them boys. Those aren't real men. Those are boys. Yeah, they'll literally see that, take advantage of that, and just kind of making it go as even far as to like turning you into their slave. But you know, that's just another topic for another day. Let me not get too deep into that. I'm gonna get fired up. But yeah, like, it's just a lot of people really don't love themselves, and they go seeking for like a fulfillment of that love in other people. They look for that in relationships and stuff like that. And most of the time it's like they're not ready for a relationship. It's just that they're seeing all these other couples and stuff all on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, all these different social medias. They see pictures and videos of them, and that makes them want that for themselves, even though they don't know what's going on behind closed doors, you know. So they just jump into these situations thinking that things are just going to be oh so peachy, they're going to turn out right, you know. And then most of the time they don't even know who the person is, like, for real. They just immediately jump into a relationship and they get to know each other while they're in the relationship, instead of kind of taking more time to do that before even making things official. And I feel like because they see they're not the only person that's going through issues like this, and there's all these other different posts that are saying, like, you know, relationships aren't easy. You have to be willing to, like, work things out. Like, they're going to take work or whatever like that. But I came across this video the other day where it was explaining how, like, loving or liking someone, whatever, it should never cost you your peace in any type of way. Like, that's just how you know it's just not meant to be. At least maybe perhaps the person could be right, but it's just wrong timing. But it should just never cost you your peace anyway. It shouldn't be hard to love someone. That's just my personal opinion. I really agree with that. It shouldn't cost you your peace. It should kind of be your peace in a way. Well, not necessarily be your peace, but, like, I guess add on to your peace. It shouldn't be something that's, like, ruining it. But then also with how my mind works personally, I like to think deeper into situations. So thinking even deeper than that, I think of everything as kind of like a life lesson. So why is this person here in my life right now? What purpose are they really serving me? Like, I just feel like everybody comes around to teach you a lesson in a way. So again, like, these toxic situations could also be teaching you something, but it's like people don't even realize stuff like that they're supposed to be learning something from this. And that's why they keep repeating these same cycles over and over again, because to really learn, it just comes with change behavior in a way, if, like, that makes sense. So yeah, like, you're just gonna keep getting the same, not the same exact situation, but kind of like the same lesson behind it, different situations, different people. And yeah, it's just like people don't realize stuff like that. And I feel like everyone, especially for people like around my age, around the like 18 to let's say like 25 age group, they really just need to take that time to work on themselves and like really master, like, what's it called? Self-acknowledgement, as well as like self-accountability and just things like that, as well as working on self-love, because it's very true that you can't really love anybody else unless you love yourself first. And that's why most of them don't really work out in the end, most of these relationships, especially for our age group. That doesn't even go for just relationships either, like romantic relationships. That can go for friendships as well, or even like the relationships that we have with our family members. Then there's those people that say, oh, I'm just going to take this time to focus on myself. Then they actually don't end up actually putting in the work and effort to actually do it, you know? So it's like you're just kind of like wasting time. You're not really doing the work that's needed to actually improve yourself. And that's the issue. That's another big issue with today's society. Like, we're lazy. Not me personally, because I'm going to put in that work and effort to make a difference within myself, within like whatever it is that I'm trying to accomplish in life. But it's like most of us, we just really, we're lazy when it comes to things like that, self-improvement or whatever, because essentially it's like we're confronting the bad parts of ourselves, and people don't like to hear the truth and admit to it. And I just don't understand why. It's like you're not making yourself feel bad about it. It's just you owning up to it and making a change about it. That's all you really have to do. Like, how willing are you to make a change about it? If you don't like it, then change it. That's really the only way that you have to think about it, to actually go forward and take those next steps to do the things to make a difference. And because of this, because most of us don't take the time out to actually acknowledge these things about ourselves, we go around blaming other people for our failed situations. That falls into the self-accountability thing. Like, actually looking at it where you go wrong instead of just blaming everyone else around you because you think there's nothing wrong with you. When in the end, there's so much for all of us to learn. We're all flawed. So, it's nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed about. So I just wish more of us would really take the steps to actually improve instead of being like embarrassed to do so. So back to the topic of us glorifying toxicity, just these toxic relationships or whatever. And I apologize in advance if I'm all over the place. I guess I'm just going to call this more so of a rant, really, because I'm just kind of going back and forth. But yeah, so a couple days ago, I ended up buying this book from Barnes & Noble. It's called All About Love. It's by Bell Hooks. And I'm actually only about 3 chapters in, but it's just been so thought-provoking so far. Like, it's really been hidden lately. Like, damn, I never thought about this. This makes a lot of sense. And it just pretty much starts off about, like, how there's so many different definitions of what love is. And that's why we confuse what it actually is. And pretty much out of all of the books that the author has read, the best understanding of what love actually is pretty much to just view love as more so an act of will, because love is something that we do rather than something that we feel, because pretty much love makes us feel different types of things. It makes us feel happiness. Love isn't a feeling. It's more so an act. It's the things that we do, the actions that we do. It's an intention and an action at the same time. And pretty much there's like a formula for being loving, and you must learn care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, trust, as well as like honest and open communication to really be loving to a person. And then she was just saying how, like, most of us men and women, we don't really know how to give or show love. And as a society, we're embarrassed by love, yet we're obsessed with it at the same time. We're so obsessed with the idea, but, we're embarrassed and we're afraid of it at the same time. It's like we don't actually want to put in the work and effort to actually, make it efficient, make it, work out. We'd rather go after something more toxic because that's what we're comfortable with. And we're afraid to truly be vulnerable and give our full trust to someone, which is like required as far as having true love. And I just find that very interesting, because even for me personally, it's like I crave intimacy, but I'm afraid to like have temporary people touch my soul. I know y'all have probably seen that quote somewhere before. It's like, I want it, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid that my time will be wasted, or it'll just be another 3 years of trauma after I just experienced that. But yeah, I hope all that resonated well with you guys. I hope it all made sense. But yeah, the video's cutting a little short here, so I'm going to have to end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.